Okay, I tried something a little bit different today. What do we think? Is it a yes? Well, for right now, it's gonna be a yes. I want to talk about the difference between being inspired and being envious. Starting off my natural hair journey was very, very frustrating and extremely upsetting. Even though I wanted to find inspiration for myself so that I can grow my hair and stay on and, get my daily dose of pep talk, I'll admit that at first I was extremely discouraged because it was hard for me to differentiate between being inspired and being jealous of the people that I was seeing. To be inspired is to see somebody else, whether they've made their goal, making their goal or whatever, and want to better yourself. But to be envious is to see somebody else reaching their goal or they've reached their goal and want theirs. If we are not careful, there is this very, very fine pencil line between being inspired and being jealous. For me personally, and so I hope this helps somebody else as well, I think the first helpful thing to do is to take notice of who it is that you're following. I think it's firstly important to consciously follow people with your own hair texture or similar hair textures to you. When I first started out, I couldn't tell you how many mixed women with like ringlets or whatever that I was following, and then I was upset because I wasn't getting the same results that they were. Well, no duh. I didn't know that I was subconsciously coveting their hair instead of being able to accurately appreciate my own. Since following naturals with my own hair texture, I'm better able to see what my own hair is capable of doing. I also like following people who have my preferred hairstyles. So while I was trying to figure out how to tie scarves, I followed a lot of people with scarves. While I do braids, I follow a lot of people who do different kinds of braids. It's not just about seeing what my hair is capable of doing, but also seeing and learning about new approaches and techniques that I'd never seen of or heard before, that I never heard of or seen before. I can speak English. And I love being able to take a moment to follow people who I feel like are relatable to me. So for example, I love doing DIY. So I follow people who do DIYs rather than people who buy everything all store-bought products. I'm sure by now it's a very well-known fact that once you start having kids, your hair texture or dryness or whatever can change. So maybe if you want to be inspired, I would follow other women who are having babies and experiencing differences in their natural hair and how they're overcoming it. If you've suffered a lot of heat damage, maybe the person that you want to follow also has suffered a lot of heat damage, and see how it is that they're going about their journey. Now, I know some of this might feel like it's way too much research for you. And hey, if that's too much for you, that's too much for you. It's perfectly fine. But considering I see a lot of people in the natural hair community start to pick at one another, envy one another, and covet another person's hair, I feel like these are just conscious ways that we can minimize that. Besides following others, I feel like vision boards are also extremely helpful. First, and I feel like easiest way of doing this is by hopping on Pinterest. I cannot tell you how many pins I have pinned to a couple of different natural hair boards. I think I have a specific board just for like hair volume. I have one for DIYs. It's just nice to have for when I need that burst of energy or inspiration, especially on a wash day. And I just go through that board and I'm like, yeah, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it too. Another great way to have a vision board that's constantly in your face is changing your phone background. So I used to use a platform called Canva, and I would take pictures that I found on Pinterest and make my phone background on Canva, download it, and then put it up as my own background. They wouldn't always look, the prettiest, but they were there. The whole point was that the pictures were constantly in my face, and so it was like a constant affirmation of, if they can do it, you can do it. I even put up certain styles that I felt like I did a really great job, and I'm like, whoa, see, this is what you have the capability of doing if you just try hard enough. I feel like growing natural hair is so easy and it can be a lot of fun, but if I have just one like major complaint about the natural hair care journey, it's this right here. So I feel like we should discuss it because a lot of YouTubers don't discuss it properly, in my personal opinion.